Okay then, Ellie, so if we look now at these two setups, hopefully you can see quite a clear difference there in terms of certainly your leg flex on this left hand side, very sort of squatty and squatty bendy there with the knees there. This is the beginning when they're quite an upright posture, quite a lot of knee bend. When your spine's upright, your arms going to kind of push away from the body, because if your arms hang down from the shoulders, they're going to be on your thighs and your quads. There's no space to swing, so your arms have to kind of move out this way to create that. But obviously that stretching there creates tension in the back of the shoulder blades. And now as we swing back, there's going to be kind of a drop into the golf to trying to get nearer the ball. And then when you swing through the trunk of the golf ball, the club now is kind of a bit too far outside here. Then you've got to start pulling the arms back in to kind of adjust to that. And if we look at the swing, even just looking down the line here, you can see when you finish the swing, how much your elbows are stuck in the side. That club is pretty much, I mean, almost resting there on your left shoulder, kind of across here kind of thing. So if we look at this position here now, with the shoulders now and your arms hanging down in a much more efficient position, okay? Good backswing, okay? As we start coming back to the golf ball, there's no dip, is there? No. You don't need to dip because your brain goes, well, I don't need to dip. So you just swing your arms back and forth. Really good strike of the ball. Now just watch the difference in your arms through the golf ball here now. Look what that club is. That club now is swinging much further over the left shoulder, okay? So your arms now are extending through. Your right arm is nicely through target rather than a little tucked up, snugged into your body position there now. And then the ball in that one now about 80 or so yards. And again, this right foot, right hip, right knee is kind of starting to move. I wouldn't expect that to kind of go boom and be perfect straight away. But if we can practice that movement that we discussed, where we get the lower half, so you sort of set up here now. Don't have to be in a sort of golfing posture, but it can often help by just being a bit more leaned over. But put a golf club on your left toe, and then we're going to just rotate this foot, this knee, and this hip, okay? The movement, though, does come from the hip, the knee, and the foot follow. If you just move the knee and the foot, you'll get what I call the old Elvis swing, where the sort of knee goes here somewhere, and the foot just sort of just lean forward and lunge, okay? We want to get that kind of twisting through the hip. I mean, that wasn't too bad here, okay? But the arms are very close in the body, okay? As I said, because you were having that kind of lunge and lean, when you're doing this and you're dropping here, that dropping at the golf ball meant if I didn't change my arm position, I mean, that club there, I don't know if you can sort of see, the club is out here somewhere, way outside the, I mean, if you put a line through the actual shaft of the club, you can see that's the club there. It's going to miss the golf ball. So at the last second, your brain goes, oh, I'm going to miss it, and it pulls it in. And that's basically on instinct. I mean, exactly, but that's on instinct, okay? But you imagine trying to adjust your head doing this and your arms doing this from the start position up here when you come to the top of your back, and that's 8.7, 8.8, you start the downswing, and your club's coming into impact 9.13, so third of a second, okay, less than that. And before you even, and again, at 9.13, and then at 9.17, you're making contact. So that hundredth of a second, kind of split second kind of adjustment, you'll say, oh, pull the arm in. Now in this case, you hit a reasonable shot. You caught most of the ball on club. It looks a little bit off what we call the heel of the club, only because here we look at the shaft of the club. The shaft now is here and the ball blurring sort of is on that shaft. If it was a better strike, the ball would be kind of blurring more here, not there. Okay, but when you finish it, because your arms are pulling in, whoop, it's like a little T-Rex swing, little arms kind of sticking out here kind of thing, all right? This one here now, because there was no dip, okay, look at your head there, head's just sort of staying nicely kind of level there. The club now when it comes back, look at the strike, see about the shaft there. There's the shaft of the golf ball, and the blur now is outside that line of the shaft, okay? So there's no need to try and pull your arms in, so what do your arms do? They swing through above your left shoulder. And it's good. It's very good, to be fair. And I think, as I said, if we look at the change you made today, static changes, okay, they're quite easy to change. You can just adjust your position at start position because you're not moving the club at 50 mile an hour. Okay, it might feel a bit awkward to start with, but static changes are pretty much kind of like, oh, here's what you were doing there, Ellie. You're a bit too sort of upright with your posture. Too much knee bend, arms reaching out, okay? And we just basically straightened your legs up, okay? So you've got less knee flex, bit more tilt, arms hang down. That's done almost instantaneously, okay? It's then trying to swing a golf club without instinct taking over, but the instinct has obviously been created by this setup, and you've had to kind of like pull the arms in. Now the reason you were lunging down for the ball is because you were too far from it in the first place, and your brain was going, well, hang on, that ball's a bit too far, probably topping a few shots. So you try to create an adjustment. But if you've got 3 or 4 adjustments in that swing in less than half a second, as we said, you're going to get very inconsistent. You'll get better at being inconsistent, but it'll be 3 good, 3 bad, 3 awful, and 1 out of 10. The good shots will progressively get better, and the bad shots will still be pretty poor, and the average shots will be maybe improving a little bit, but your overall game's going to kind of just sort of not really sort of peak as it should do. Okay, if we can say, right, get a better start position, then your body can now rotate. So basically your spine angle in that blue line is rotating around that all the time. If you look at this one here now, okay, as you go back, okay, you watch your head there drop. Look at your spine angle changing down there. So you're dropping it quite a bit there, knees flexing quite a lot, and then because you're changing that spine angle from here to kind of now there, okay, you've got too close to the golf ball. Now your brain goes, recover, quick, pulls in. That make sense in you?
Yeah.
Good,
No,
excellent, very, very good.